Hello, everybody. I'm assuming that I'm on. I don't see my face here, but I'm assuming that I am on. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley. I'm so happy to have you guys here tonight to talk about agents of change, the superpowers of the agents of change. And I'm not talking about Superman or the Hulk or Thor or Spidey. I'm talking about you and how you are creatively participating in these challenging times. Did I say challenging times? Oh boy, these are times, aren't they? This time in history that you and I, have chosen to be in, I believe this is the time of the greatest change on our planet. This is the time when the way to peace truly is an option and change is inevitable. Whether it's good change or whether it's bad change, that of course would rely upon how we're directing spiritual mind. So tonight, oops, I'm being helped. Tonight, I'm talking about agents of change, not agents of shield. This is not a Marvel talk. This is about you and me and these times that we're in. An agent of change, and this term's been around for quite a while, is someone who sees a problem in the community, large or small community, and that person does everything that they can and takes action for substantial change. That's pretty much it. And in history, there have been a truckload of change makers in our lives. Where would we be today without Jesus? Or Judas, for that matter? Michelangelo, Galileo, Madame Curie, Gandhi, Emma Curtis Hopkins, Emerson, Mary Baker Eddy, Eleanor Roosevelt, Susan B. Anthony, Oprah. Where would we be without Oprah? Now, these are change agents. And the list goes on and on and on. And they saw where change was necessary, and they used their talents and their gifts to make change happen. We know that we're dealing with degrees of perfection here when we're talking about the need for change. Our world as it is where it needs to be to bring us into alignment with our divine potential. We are where we need to be. There's no place else for us to be. So everything that is happening on our planet is facilitating our growth. And yes, we are having huge growing pains, big time growing pains. Everything, we say everything is happening for my highest good. And that's true. But to determine what our highest good is for each and one of us by ourselves to determine what's right, what's wrong, what we want to see revealed in our lives. And so if we think everything is happening for our highest good, and that's not terrific, what our idea of our highest good is, well, then that's our experience. And I think right now that we're all playing the blame game pretty much. We always want to blame our conditions on somebody else, and I'm talking quite generally. I'm not blaming you, but I'm certain that you know what I'm talking about. He did that, so I had to do this, and then I did that because of what he did, and then he did that, and I did this, and now we're both doing things we don't want to be doing, and there's chaos, and there's not perfection, and there's not an expression of good in that. So we have to stop blaming. Okay, forget I said that. I said we have to. You don't have to do anything. But I would recommend that blaming is not the course to take. I used to hate it when my mom said, Lynn, you have to do this. And what did I do? Not that. I'd always do the opposite. So you don't have to stop blaming. You don't have to do anything that I say, but think about what I'm saying tonight and apply it where it's applicable. And right now, we all have to be, they talk about spiritual activism. We're in a world that is now warring, and people don't want war, and people do want war, and people want peace, and people want unity, and all of this. This is the time that we're in. And so the fact of the matter is, we as a species are in breakdown, morally, politically, emotionally. Our DNA is changing genetically, everything, morally, everything. We are in breakdown. We've broken down our ability to learn from our mistakes, or even to call them our mistakes. We are poised to break through. That's the assurance of breakdown. We are now poised to break through, be it good or bad. We are, by our mental and spiritual methods of dealing with stuff, we're determining right now what our destiny is going to be. That's big. This is a big time. I meant what I said. This is the time. The greatest change on our planet is happening right now. It's not going to happen. It's happening right now. You can feel it. You can feel the movement. You can feel, and as I said, spiritual activism. It's time for us to use prayer like we've never used it before. And it's time for us to move our feet and do things, to be active in our community. What can I do? What is mine to do? That's spiritual activism. And spiritual activism is meditation. That's called subtle activism. And meditating in groups, great large groups, get together with a group that meditates weekly en masse, and not at mass, en masse, and make sure that you're directing mind in the direction of peace, of unity, of love. So I want to ask you a very, very personal question. Have you had, or do you have right now in your life, an agent of change? There's someone who simply by their values and actions models for you how you can have be conducting a happy and productive life. Is there someone in your life right now who models that for you? Well, we know Reverend Pam does. She's exemplary. Yeah. And so do these people listen to you without judgment or fixing? And do they give you support when it's most needed? And do they give you courage when it's called for? Do they ask for nothing in return for their unconditional friendship? I'd like to know. I don't see, once again, I don't see over here a comment um, bar. So if you have a piece of paper and a pencil nearby, I'd like for you to write down the names of those people in your life right now who you would call agents of change. People who model for you a way to live a productive and happy life. Okay. I'm giving you a little time to do that. Find the paper, find the pencil. Good. Okay. Now I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to breathe into the presence and to those wonderful people who are change makers in your world. Say, thank you. Thank you, thank you. There you go. Now, I'd like for you to very honestly list those people or groups for which you yourself are an agent of change. Yeah. I wish we were all here live right now in person so you could yell out names and we could have a great old time. That'd be great. But just list the people or the groups for which you yourself are an agent of change. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that. I can think of some clubs in my church and, people, my children. Oh, my children. I have amazing children. I think I'm a change agent in their world. Think of everyone for whom you are a change agent. There you go. So once again, I want you to close your eyes and breathe into the presence and say thank you to yourself for your diligence and your dedication. Very good. How'd that feel? It's nice to acknowledge yourself from time to time, isn't it? So, what are the superpowers? You might ask, what are the superpowers? I already told you. Number one, listening without judgment or fixing. Do you have a fixer in your life? Yeah, you don't need to be fixed. You're going to have guidance. You're going to know what to do next. You don't need to be fixed. Number two, oh, my cat's here, wants to eat my dinner. Number two, they give you support when it's needed. That's one of their superpowers. They give you support when it's needed. They don't just willy-nilly give you support when it's needed. Because what do? What do we know to do now? We know to ask. Yeah. We know to ask if we need support, if we need love, we need a hug. Number three, they give you courage when it's called for. Do you have a friend, someone in your life, a change agent in your life? You turn around and they're sitting right there and they're just the person you need to give you the courage to do what it is that you need to do. Excuse me. Quietly, gently. They're right there. You're just sitting down, you turn around to your right, and there they are, quietly supporting you, giving you courage. Excuse me. Number four, they never ask for anything in return for their unconditional friendship. How about that? Not a word. What's in it for me? None of that. Oh, here, I want you to see this. If you can see this. This is Sherlock. Hi, Sherlock. He's my live-in spirit guide. Number five, they have seen the problems, found the solutions, and forged change. That's what an agent of change does. They see the problem in their community, large or small, they find solutions and they forge change. And number six, they're humble leaders. They're humble leaders. They ask for nothing in return because they're about change. They're about forging change. They're change makers, agents of change. If you possess any of these qualities, these superpowers, you are an agent of change. And I know you do. I know each and every one of you watching this evening, each and every one of our wonderful people who show up our Sunday services, which are in person, by the way, now. I know all of you have these qualities. You are agents of change. You've earned your hero's cape and your bodysuit. And there you go. And even a catchphrase if you're lucky. I found a good definition for an agent of change that I want to read to you, and it's a little more thorough than what I've been saying. You know where I found this? I found it on the internet, looking for sites that talk about change agents. There was no shortage. No shortage at all. It was really exciting, but this is pretty simple. An agent of change, they find their passion and they act on it. An agent of change is someone who sees a problem in the community, large or small, and does something to take action for substantial change. This person is someone who listens to the people in the community where the issue exists and makes sure that they truly understand the root of the problem before implementing an idea. What was one of those powers? They don't try to fix anything unless they totally understand it. This person is someone who is willing to take risks. They have courage and doesn't always claim to know the answer. That takes even more courage. They are willing to ask hard questions and help find creative solutions. An agent of change, excuse me, has the courage to think outside the box and makes an impact that is greater than themselves. For centuries, we've been great agents. There have been great agents of change. Humans of enormous courage and intellect and imagination and compassion, and they've all had a vision. And every one of you watching right now is an agent of change. You have a vision. And we share a philosophical science of mind that espouses oneness and causal responsibility. Responsibility within us all. Causal responsibility. I'm always my own experience. I'm the cause of my every action. There's no one to blame. Causal responsibility within us all. Key components to being a change agent. So with that in mind, I'd like for you to close your eyes again and breathe into the presence and say, thank you, Dr. Holmes. Thank you, Science of Mind. So it is. Let's have a little treatment, a really short spiritual mind treatment. Answer to every, there's a solution to every, there's a spiritual solution to every problem, to every question. There is a spiritual solution. And we are spiritual activists, and we are up to the task of causing peace. So let's close our eyes. Let's go within. And as I go within, I'm instantly aware of a presence, a loving, kind, intelligent, creative, powerful presence. This is infinite intelligence, divine intelligence, love, life, God. And I know with absolute certainty that I am the divine individualized expression of this magnificent, creative, generous, loving source. I know that the God that lets me live gets to live through and by means of me in all that I think, say, and do. And so I take the advantage of this wonderful power that is within me to listen, to give unconditional friendship and love, to lend courage to someone who needs it. I know that I am an agent of change on a planet that is poised for greatness, poised for a new way of being, poised for unity, for oneness, for love, for divine expression of all that is possible when there is only peace. I am so grateful for these loving truths of a peaceful soul, peaceful mind, oneness with Source, and the power to be the cause for peace. I release these loving truths into the law of mind. I allow divine mind to take care of the details of how all of this unfolds so perfectly, while I enjoy my perfect, expressive, powerful life. And together we say, and so it is. And so it is time for me to remind you that we are back in the center this Sunday, in the flesh, 221 East Daily Drive, Camarillo, right across from Marie Callender's. So we see you there at 10:30. The really good news about this Sunday is Reverend Dr. Sue Rubin is going to be talking. She and Pam have wonderful things planned for us for Sunday. So please come in person. If not, you can go on, let me see, Facebook. I think it's, well, our Facebook page, it's a CSL Pleasant Valley. I wish I remembered. Anyway, CSL Pleasant Valley, Center for Spiritual Living Pleasant Valley. Go on Facebook Live. And we're on at 10:30, the same time that we're live and in person at the sanctuary. And we'll see you at 10:30. And reminder that next Thursday at 7 o'clock, Buzz Noe, my beautiful husband, will be doing the uplift. So it's going to be a good night there for you too. All right. So have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you Sunday morning at church or on Facebook Live. I love you each and every one. And so begins the lesson. Love you.